Yo, what's going on, YouTube fam? Today, we're going to be talking about DeepSeek AI and how it's going to influence that corporate job, right? Now, we was talking about how to survive these corporate rivers and valleys and all of that stuff. And this is some real deep stuff, pun intended, right? Right now, you got to think about either how do you utilize this technology or how is it going to put you at a disadvantage or an advantage. Right now, how they put it together, what they're saying is, well, AI is taking the jobs, meaning that labor is not going to have much value. But where the value lies for all this AI stuff, on a bigger picture, as how they put it, is in the employer, in the decision maker, in the business owner's hands, entrepreneur's hands to a certain extent, right? Saying, okay, well, you might say, I don't need, I'm in sales, because I'm in sales, and there's no AI that can replace me to create that value for my customers, because of what I do for them, how I communicate. But I saw a video the other day where I saw an AI chatbot speaking and executing, whether it be emails, text messages, whatever is pretty much necessary in order to close a deal, right? When we look at the process of closing a deal, what does that look like, right? Find the prospect, you got a lead, generate the lead. Okay, when you buy the lead, you generated it through some kind of advertisement or maybe a referral, what have you. Okay, so advertisement. So let's say you advertise on Google, YouTube, TikTok, what have you, right? Set up that advertisement. Somebody responds to that advertisement. If it's online, it'll be some kind of landing page. Okay, they go to the landing page, they fill out a form. Okay, now after they fill out that form, somebody usually is going to respond to them because they expressed some interest. All right, now that they expressed the interest, somebody, will they call you? Maybe you get an email response, what have you. But that whole process, right, from the email response to whether they be speaking to somebody, emailing them some follow-up information, speaking to them to describe the product or service and how it's going to be able to benefit, let's say, their business or their life or what have you. And then it's sign on the line that's dotted. That's pretty much in a quick synopsis of what happens. And you would say, well, can they do that? And the answer is yes, it can do that. And some people are doing it already, from what I saw with this on this video, where these guys, this company put together their own AI personality. They didn't call it a chatbot. He had a name for the AI. And the AI responded to that name conversationally. You really could, it sounded pretty cool too, as far as like just talking to it. You really couldn't tell. It was hard for me to tell it was AI, and obviously I knew it was AI because I'm watching the video and they're telling me, they're telling the viewers that this is an AI, this is AI right here. This is what it does, not can do, it's doing it for these guys that built their model, built their agent, and has it executing on a high level as far as the sales process. So what does that mean for the salesperson? Well, there's certain aspects you're going to be able to utilize, right? Utilizing ChatGPT to put together that presentation a lot quicker. You putting together presentations, like I just said, putting together email, writing a text, writing not a testimonial, but a case study or what have you. So these AI agents are already capable of doing most, at least a decent job. They can do the job. Now you can go into, well, how well does it do it versus how well do you do it, because you have maybe a personal relationship. You've built that up with a client or potential client or a lead in order to say, well, this is what's going to justify me being more successful than this AI agent, right? But think about this. Sometimes all of that is not necessary. Sometimes somebody just wants to buy something. They're already ready to go. All it took was somebody to explain the details of the particular product or service, and they're ready to go because maybe they already know they need it, and that's what they were looking for. They did their research, right? They need somebody to basically walk them through the process of onboarding, answering some questions, so on and so forth, right? And now imagine that AI is going to be able to do that 10x what you will be able to do in a day and at night, because it doesn't have to sleep. It can just keep going no matter what time zone, no matter what time zone. It doesn't matter. It's because it's up, it's working, right? Can you match that work output? No, that's going to be impossible because people need to sleep. And would you even want to, right? It's like the old story about what's his name? Old John Henry versus the jackhammer. And I believe in the story, old Henry, he won. But it was a Pyrrhic victory, meaning that he really didn't win because he died trying to keep up with that with that jackhammer, with that tool, that automated jackhammer. He died trying to keep up with that. Jackhammer didn't die, can't die. It's a tool. But at least at that time, it was a person. They needed a person to operate the jackhammer. Now imagine if that jackhammer just had a mind of its own, and you were like, hey, jackhammer, dude, jackhammer over here, jackhammer over there, and tell me when you're done. Well, that's where we're at right now. So they say adapt or die. I would say it's a race. Yeah, that's for now, adapt or die. But at a certain point, if you don't adapt now or soon enough, then the race, you'll be too far behind in the race to even catch up, right? And that's what these oligarchs, as they say, are planning on. Now, the thing is that, a lot of times people have their hubris and their ego, and they think that they know more, can do more, especially when they're rich. They start to think like, they have some kind of magic intellect, like they really did something so different. A lot of people that if you look at their story, they just stole or they grifted or did something. Not all, but a lot of them. You start to see, oh, well, Steve Jobs, he stole from Xerox, right? He stole the mouse, he stole the Windows-based operating system from Xerox, and then Microsoft came in and stole it from Apple. So there's a lot of stealing going on. Now, the people that at Xerox who initially developed it, okay, not too much there. Not saying they were stealing, and you might say they probably borrowed something. Obviously, they built on, or let's say they built on top of other technologies, obviously. But literally, Apple, Steve Jobs, and Bill Gates, Microsoft, they stole what made them, at the end of the day, billions and billions of dollars. Right? So my point is that you think some of these people are geniuses, and they might be smart people, or they might be more, let's say, what we would say instead of smart, maybe shrewd, shrewd, something like that. You could use that word. And if that's the case, you might think, oh, well, AI can't be shrewd. Yes. Don't overhype yourself, right? These are some real developments that are happening right now. So we had the oligarchs saying, oh, Trump came out and said, hey, we got this $500 billion investment, OpenAI, what's his name, Larry Ellison of Oracle, what's his name, with SoftBank, saying, hey, we're going to do with Trump, saying we're going to do this $500 billion AI development data center. And then at the same time, we had the whole rhetoric about, making sure that China is unable to get the GPUs, right, which are basically which are the engines of AI. We're going to limit China so they can't catch up with us. Yet China comes out and built a ChatGPT, large language model that's rivaling ChatGPT for a fraction of the cost. Not only that, they made it open source. What does that mean? That means that people, developers, can take that model and make it better or make it suited to their particular needs. More flexibility, more ability to do things, faster movement and development, right? And you have NVIDIA, who makes GPUs, stock tumble. The whole market tumbled today based on that news. Based on the news that they said, well, China's behind us, but in this AI race, but really they're not. So let's bring it back to the corporate, your corporate job and your position. Now, is this technology going to take your position? It can, and that is the design of a lot of these oligarchs, because they just want more money. And that's a fact of the matter. They say it they say it without even thinking about what they're saying to people. Yeah, we're just gonna, we're just gonna automate everything, and people will find something else to do, I guess. What are they gonna do? I don't know, but we'll find something, right? Because they think that it can't replace them. It's kind of like the tortoise and the hare. Really, when you look at that story, it was hubris. Yeah, the hare was faster. He was able to win that race. But he felt he was so ahead of the tortoise. Tortoise can't even deal with me. And he went to sleep. He went to sleep on him. And at the end of the day, what happened? I think we know. The tortoise won the race. So a lot of times we really think that, especially when you've had success or you have some money, you start to think your shit don't stink. Or your ish, let's say. Right? Let's make this G-rated, I guess. Right? And you start to feel like, all right, I can handle all of this, anything that comes to me, until you realize the water's choppy. You thought you were Michael Phelps. But, oh man, I think I'm starting to drizzle. Uh-oh. What do you do at that point? Maybe you get lucky. Somebody comes to see you, a boat picks you up. Maybe the current does carry you, stop struggling, and you get carried to the beach, and you survive, and you say, woo! That was a close one. I almost bought it on that one. And maybe, you respect the ocean a little more. Hopefully. Right? So taking it back to that, right now there's a race on that they didn't expect the average person to be able to run. With this DeepSeek news, what it says to me, being that it's open source, this is a huge move in a direction of the average, not the average person, but it could be, if a person chose to learn certain things at this point and do it themselves, it's possible. It's possible for, obviously, certain people. Anybody could do it, but some people are just not really gonna, be able to have maybe the wherewithal to even see how they could utilize these things, or or maybe even the desire to do the things necessary in order to be in a position to utilize this new technology. So to really just put it all together right now, it's a race. I'm saying learn what you can as fast as you can and utilize that in order to get in a race that was really out of your hands. But what this DeepSeek revelation has done is put it back into your hands to a great extent. All right? To put it into your hands more than it was before with, say, an OpenAI or someone like that. Right? So let's think about that. I'm going to leave you guys on that note, because this is some real next level stuff that we're talking about right now. So we're going to see what happens, man. We're going to see what happens. It's real in the field. And I'm out. Talk to you soon. Like, share, and subscribe, baby.